All right, boys and girls, we're going to give you another Honda video today. I soon got to do a little review on the car. It's got way over 400,000 now. And this is our first rear wheel bearing replacement. And I just want to say a few things before I get started. When the back bearing goes in these cars, it is very hard to tell that it's a back bearing. The way the sound travels through the inside of the car when you're driving, it actually sounded like a front bearing was gone, but we've already replaced both of them with good quality, the better bearings that you can buy for them. And I sat in the back of the car on the drive home, and I could have swore to God that the bearing was gone on the passenger side. But when I jacked it up and spun it, immediately I could tell that the bearing was good on that side. And as you can see, this one is super noisy and binding up. So that's a problem. So anyway, yeah, don't go by where the sound is. Make sure you check your wheels before you spend the money. I mean, in this situation, I probably should just do them both. But that little sucker, as you can see, it's a hub unit, which for starters is weird to see in the back. At least for me anyway. I'm used to seeing the hub unit style in the front, especially on like your Chev vehicles and stuff like that. But this is a hub unit in the rear. And even though there's no axle spline in that and it's solid, that little sucker cost a lot of money. The cheapest we could find that, a good quality one, I think we paid $240 for that bearing. So, like I say, I don't really like replacing stuff till it's wore out. So in this situation, to do the pair of these back bearings, it's a little bit of work, and it's definitely a little bit of money. So I've already went ahead and got started. By the way, if you don't have one of these guns and you're running off an air gun, you need to throw your air gun away and buy one of these, because this is the best, by far the best impact gun we've ever had here in this shop, even with a big compressor. We actually had a DeWalt heavy duty that we used for years, but this sucker has almost 1,400 foot-pounds of breakaway power. And basically, if it won't turn it, it'll snap it off. And it's super good for working on heavier gear like a tractor and stuff. But anyway, let's dive into it. So first thing first, unplug your sensor for your electronic brakes. Second thing is, I am not taking the caliper off the bracket. I'm just going to take the whole mounting bracket off. So you're just going to need a 17 mil deep socket. You can get the top one, and the bottom one, my brake line's in the way, so I'm just going to wrench it. We're going to get this off. Then we're going to get the rotor off. Then we're going to go at the bolts in the back side, which looks like it's going to be a tight little fit in there to try to get at them. So not real too crazy about this, but we're going to get her done. All right, boys and girls. That was zero fun, let me tell you. And they actually put the brake line bracket and the bracket that holds this wire right in the way of your top bolt, this one right here. But they're 17 mil. That's what they look like. And my weapon of choice was the DeWalt with a long extension, a swivel head, and really make sure that you have the socket on well, or you're going to strip that really fucking easy. So now we got a smashy smash with the hammer, and I've already checked to make sure the ABS sensor is not interference on this. So just a matter of getting this out of here, which I don't think we'll have a problem here with the tools at hand. So I'll get this whacked out of here, and we'll get the new one in. So there's the end result. Let me tell you, that thing was seized in there. As you can see, I got some pretty big artillery out here. And as much as I didn't want to use chisels on that aluminum hub face, I don't have a big slide hammer. There's absolutely no room in there whatsoever to swing a hammer, and you can only hit it on this end of the bearing, so it tries to go catty-cornered. But I fought with that for way longer than I wanted to. And obviously, as you can see now, I got it all back together. But first thing you want to do is get your 4 17mm bolts in loose, sort of set them up all together. And then the bracket that holds your brake line and the electrical line, that has to be reconnected. That's a 12mm. Then you can seat that all together. Well, obviously seat the bearing first, then do the sensor, because the sensor's in the way of your top bolt. Then it's just a matter of throwing the brake hub back on. And like I said, I didn't bother taking my caliper off the mounting bracket. I just pulled the whole thing, so it's all back together, ready to go. Sounds good. And this bearing was absolutely pooched. So, car should be nice and quiet now. Then we'll continue the journey past 400,000.